surrounded by happiness but can't bring myself to feel it.
Depression po. Hanggang sa lagi ko na sila nakikita nag-aaway.
Taking substance, illegal substances, ecstasy, cocaine, and shabu.
Being anxious without being depressed. But you cannot be depressed without being anxious.
Okay naman sila kasi yun, go with the flow lang yun. Maaga, pasok kami nila atan, tapos sila mama at papa, yun, nandun sila sa business namin. May sarili kasi kami business sa bayan, palengke, doon, isdaan. And then yun, nagkaroon din sila mama ng problema sa pera, tapos hindi sila nagkasundo ni papa. Kaya doon nag-trigger yung depression po. Hanggang sa lagi ko na sila nakikita nag-aaway, gabi-gabi nila, gano'n. Tapos hindi namin sila maawat. Kasi nga si Papa kapag nagagalit ng high blood, may times pa nga na nasaktan niya si Mama. Kaya yung paulit-ulit na nangyayari yun, syempre naguluhan na kami, gano'n. Tapos yun na yung nag-trigger na na-depress ako hanggang sa waning na lang pagising ko, iyak na ako nag-iyak. Kasi yun nga sabi ng mama ko, gusto niya na damay pagmalik kay Papa kasi hindi niya na kaya yung mga ginagawa niya. Kaya hanggang sa dumating sa point na, yun nga, hanggang sa nag-suffer ako sa depression, tapos yun, pinagabot ako nun sa Mandaluyong, sa clinic, hanggang sa 1.5 year, tumagal siya.
Before this last bout of clinical depression, I was a very wayward Christian. I wasn't practicing my faith. In fact, to tell you frankly, as I said, this is confidential. I got also involved in taking illegal substances, ecstasy, cocaine, and shabu. So, when I was taking these substances, I had a lifestyle that was very, very hedonistic. So, and then I had relationship problems with my ex-wife in the States and my kids and my own parents. So, what do you call this? What happened was that I was really going out of control regarding my depression. I ended up having to go under drug rehab. When I underwent drug rehab, that's when the clinical depression, what do you call this?
Pag nag-trigger nun, kasi that time, kakagraduate sila ng high school nun, and then first year college yung ate ko, elder sister namin. Tapos, din nalaman din namin na nabunti siya. Ang dami yung pangako sa amin, sabi niya pag-aaralin kami. Tapos, yun nga, nagsama-sama na lahat ng problema namin. Yun, family problem nga kay mga papa, tapos tumagdag pa si ate, hanggang sa, hindi ko din na-control yung pag-iisip ko, hanggang sa yun nga, na-depress na ako, hindi ko na alam kung ano yung mga ginagawa ko noong time na yun, pag kinakausap ako.
So, I had all the symptoms of clinical depression, misery, self-pity, hatred towards the self, and I think at that time, the drugs altered my brain chemistry negatively to the point wherein I had low serotonin. So I was given a prescription of medicine, Seroquel, Risperdal, and all those types of medicine. And I was in the doldrums, so to speak, for 1 year and 6 months. So during that time, I was really clinically depressed. I would like to, sleep the whole day if possible. I hardly went out of the house, hardly made social contacts. Now, what was the turnaround? The turnaround was when I started taking my Catholic faith seriously. When I started taking my Catholic faith seriously, I found another reason for living. I wanted to dedicate my life back to Jesus Christ as a recovering Catholic, and I was able to see a future for me. So it gave me the hope to recover. So that eventually I was able to snap out of my clinical depression because I knew that Jesus Christ wanted me to stand up again and begin a new life. Extreme low self-esteem, ruminating thoughts the whole day about what happened in the past and why the past shouldn't have happened to me. Self-centeredness, what we call this, cannot focus, cannot concentrate, no appetite, misery, have a hard time sleeping because I'm always thinking about the problems of the past and not forgiving myself. So those were the low points of the. What triggered was when the drugs were being withdrawn from my system. Na-affect yung chemistry ng brain ko because of the intense usage of illegal substances, especially shabu and ecstasy. I was taking too much, so I think that affected the chemistry of my brain. So there was a drug-related trigger. There was no traumatic external event. There was no death in the family, no failed relationship. Well, I lost money. I got swindled also by drug dealers. So that could have also been a trigger. I lost almost close to 1 million pesos. Ako, JP in 1996 and in 2008. And then in 2000 and I'm talking about the recent one. Okay. The one in 2000 and the one in 1996 was also drug related. The one in 2008 was more of business failures and failed relationships. Yes, but the latest one was really more drug-induced. Probably the intense drug abuse affected the chemistry of my brain so that I couldn't control my thoughts. I would always have ruminating thoughts. So right now, as you see, I'm completely recovered. But if you had met me during the dark days of depression, I might have even a hard time expressing these sentiments. I won't say the word relieved. I feel very blessed and grateful. So one of my ways of recovering, JP, was starting to count my blessings. So it's a change of perspective. I realize how good God has with me. I really have a good family that is supportive. I have friends who care. I can still eat 3 times a day. I still have the clothes on my back. I can still sleep under a very stable roof. So I started looking at little things and cherishing them as blessings from God. Slowly by slowly, from a life of ingratitude and blaming others, I started developing a counter blessings perspective or making a gratitude list. And with that, it started lifting my mood. My mood started improving. And of course, I started reading scripture. I started reading spiritual books like the books of John Piper. He's a Protestant a pastor. The books of Tim Keller, the books of Saint Augustine, self-help books with a Christian perspective help. And of course, aside from the spiritual and human means, I was also taking antidepressants. I had a doctor, Dr. Paul Lee. He's a good doctor from UP and PGH. And he's the one who monitors my drugs. And up to now, I still take a maintenance dosage of Risperdal, Serenata, and Seroquel.
Prescribe, nakita ng doktor na physiologically ang cause ng depression niya. So, natural, only psychiatrist can prescribe medicine. No? So, she has to take that medicine to balance the neurotransmitter. Pag balance yon, then medyo normal siya, but medication is just one treatment. Sabi ko nga, meron kailangan ng therapy. Kasi, yung psychotherapy, yun ba yung parang kinakausap yung pasyente, no? At pinapaunawa sa kanya yung sitwasyon niya, no? Para maintindihan niya at pinapaunawa sa kanya yung sitwasyon so that the person can understand, no, where his feeling is coming from, and so that she will be able to face. Kasi kahit depressed ka, life goes on.
kasi nangyari sa akin after depression yun. Nakaka-bless kasi yung buhay ko before, life-changing talaga siya and transformation siya. Tsaka testimony siya sa mga tao na nagkaroon ng depression, tsaka masaya siya compared dati. Kasi dati hindi na kami ganun na na pag may problema, hindi na ako ganun na problema. Ngayon, chill na lang kasi alam ko si Lord, kasama ko naman.